Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up the Bills! It's not outside! It's not outside!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Want me now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition, they say we tripping. They better get out our way. Top of the table, we flipping. We on a mission, got an unstoppable team. Continue to follow your dream, by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Cause we done Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we done Buffalo.
Not sure if any of you can hear this or not, but just having a little technical difficulty here. Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast. If you can hear me, hear us, please let me know. I may be closing out shortly to come back in if we're having an issue right now. Well, for some reason I haven't seen us on the screen yet. So if you can hear us, just please bear with us. There we go. And welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, Whittle. They're a little bit out of sorts, kind of like the Bills. It's sort of like this is kind of fitting considering where the Bills are these last couple of weeks. So I am your co-host
Not,
Beyond 716, and Whittle, you are here. Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, yep. Thank you, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Just little technical difficulties. You know how things go. So, want to say, hey, give us a follow here on Do Champions on YouTube and wherever you get social media. Take a look for us. Our show and other great shows available to get you through this Bills bye week. And when we first envisioned this bye week, I think we had a much different idea of what we were going to be feeling at this moment. And yeah, how fast things can change. We were at the mountaintop 2 weeks ago, 4-0, talking about undefeated seasons, talking about will we be undefeated going into the Bengals game, the Steelers game, the Eagles game. And now suddenly here we sit at 4-2, injuries piling up, issues abound, and we're gonna set you up here. So wanted to get your initial thoughts. I know you were at the game. So how was your trip? And your overall thoughts on how it went down there in Atlanta.
Um, the flights were fine. I mean, you know, it was a good trip. I did enjoy myself. I like Atlanta. Um,
Yeah, good.
did a little sightseeing on Tuesday before my flight, and
Nice.
yeah, got to hang out a little bit. With the regular with Lee Sean and Patrick was out there as well.
Very
And I
nice.
was like,
Always worth the price of admission, those two. So that's good.
yeah, yeah. So got out there. I think Sarah was out there as well. Although we missed the whole tailgating experience. Um, and we just kind of walked over to the stadium, and well,
Hmm.
that was a whole like getting to the stadium was kind of crazy. It's a lot
Wow.
like the traffic is similar, but the scenery is, if that makes sense. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard
yeah,
Atlanta traffic is different. I've heard
uh,
stories about
bad,
it.
it was bad trying to get to the stadium, but
Hmm.
uh, you know, you, we get there, and the first thing you hear from the Bills side is that Daquan Jones went down with a calf injury during
Hmm.
warm ups. Like, all right, well, so it's gonna be Jordan Phillips you know, and the rest of these guys. We got Ed Oliver back. So, I mean, I went into this game feeling pretty good about the Bills' opportunity. Now, I did think that, obviously the Falcons have a ton of talent. Um,
Hmm.
Michael Penix, really good college player, played very, very well for University of Washington. Um, Bijan Robinson, one of the best running backs in the league. Drake London, very good player. And then they got a collection of guys on the defensive side. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, Xavier Watts, Caden Ellis, a bunch of guys on the defensive side that are, really talented players. And, you know, get into the game and I'm looking around the stadium and to be honest with you, was not a lot of fans there. Really wasn't. I mean, you know how
Hmm.
outside the stadium in Orchard Park, it's like mob Bills fans everywhere. Like you can't get within a mile of the stadium of
Mm.
hockey and without running into 50 different 50 to 100 Bills fans.
Hmm.
Tailgates every it was a little different. Like it was a little
Yeah.
different um tailgate experience. Like what we saw on the way in was a lot smaller. Their parking lots and stuff. Like it's just different. It's very it's just different. And I guess
Is
it's
it is
because it's
it
within the
is it because it's right within the city, Whittle? Do you think that has something to do with it? We're more
yeah,
buff.
I would imagine that probably has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But even walking up, man, I mean, it was walking up to the stadium. It was pretty quiet. It wasn't a lot of people outside. Nobody was really talking trash. Nothing. It was just like really chill. So
Hmm.
we walked, and I'm like honestly walking up and seeing more Bills fans than Falcon fans, which is kind of weird. But I mean, I know we travel very very well. So
We
um,
sure do. Yeah, because on television, I got to tell you, it was noticeable. You guys were heard. I mean, it really came through third downs. I mean, it felt not quite like a home game, but it had a very SoFi Stadium feel, if you will. Yeah, here in
I
California
get,
when we come in
I'm sure
droves.
this really didn't last too long though because first play of the game, first play that uh, that Atlanta has the football, we force a fumble and we recover it,
Mhm.
but I believe Ed Oliver, it's either Oliver Ed or Rousseau was offside. And it's just like that was kind of the theme of the night, man. Like whenever something good would happen, we would do something to screw it up for it. Like we would do something good and also do something stupid on the same play and just kind of ruin it for
Mhm.
us. It was a pretty bad night for the offense. Um, really really rough night for the offense. Like
Mhm.
you could see that Josh really wasn't comfortable. He was missing throws. Uh, Joshua Palmer, big play, first play of the game, like a 45-yard game. Even that though was a missed throw. Like Josh needs to lead that throw. He needs to lead him a little further
Yep.
towards the middle of the field, and it
Agree.
gives him an opportunity to kind of run under it, make that catch, and keep running in stride. But Josh definitely missed some throws out there. Um, the run game took a little time to develop. The run game took a little time to develop, but
Yep.
ultimately, man, I mean, they just had a game plan that they were really prepared. The Falcons were really prepared for this game. Um, I thought they did an excellent job with limiting the interior pressure that we could
Mhm.
get. Like they had a plan for Dion walking that out. 100%. They had a plan for those
Mhm.
guys. And then they ran the ball, man. I mean, they really ran the ball. He did a lot of stuff that I thought that would be nice. Buffalo did some of this stuff with, insert player. Like the way that they use Drake London, how they move Drake London from the boundary into a bunch set in the slot, and then
Mhm.
you would just kind of run a bunch of traffic around him. They really did a good job of combining routes to give Penix some real options. Um, they would pair up a deep corner route with
Mhm.
with a streak or a deep dig, and then they would follow up with intermediate pitch route to London, and the first two routes are gonna run off the coverage, and then London's kind of sitting there in the middle of his zone, wide open.
Mhm.
And then the man coverage, I mean, at this point, you can't depend on the Bills to defend from a man coverage standpoint, but it's almost better to it's almost better at this like because we can't depend on these guys like to really be effective in man coverage. It's almost
Mhm.
better to just put them in a position in man coverage and just send heat. Just send
Yeah.
pressure and maybe a quarterback makes a mistake. Maybe you get a tip pass or something like
Mhm.
that. And just tell the guys that are not really equipped to play man coverage, just be in a position to make a tackle. You know you're not going to make a play on the football, so just be in position to make a tackle. But um, beautiful stadium. The people were amazing. They were
Mhm.
a little front runnerish. Like they were very quiet early, and then as the
Yeah.
game kind of got out of hand, then they started to find they found their inner strength, and then
They probably just
but
didn't
but
believe, right? They deep down inside, they The Falcons are going to Falcon, so to speak, right? They're going to find a way to blow it at the end of the game, as they customarily have done in recent years.
And what bothered me about the way that the Bills played was it was one of the opportunities. It was like one of the times that the defense actually gave us a real chance to win the game. Like we
Hmm.
held the Falcons to 3 points in the second half. First half, just ridiculous. Like we gave up over
Hmm.
like 300 yards, 330 yards, or something like that of offense in the first half. They scored, and they scored 21 points off of 335, yards,
Yeah.
total yards in the first half, which is like kind of underwhelming. You probably should have more points than that, and they should have. But Drake London steps out of bounds on his way to the end zone to put up that
Hmm.
28. Um, but like the Bills defense, despite who was out there, they actually gave us a shot to win that game. The offense just couldn't get out of its way, and I would have liked to have seen the Bills run the ball more. Obviously, I thought James Cook did an excellent job in the second half of kind of really moving the chains and really attacking that Falcons defense. It was nuts though because we talked about this all week on Twitter and the spaces, and
Hmm.
we talked about it on the podcast about how this was a game where the Bills should have leaned on the strength of their offensive line, especially in the interior, and just, for lack of a better phrase, tried to play bully ball. And we didn't do that. What we did was we went in there and tried to get cute. Third and one, this play will stick out to me probably for the entire season. On third down and one, we ran a jet sweep to Elijah Moore. We didn't line up with 6 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends. We didn't go 12 or 13. We handed the ball off to Elijah Moore for a jet
Hmm.
sweep. I don't get it. Um, yeah, this, like, people keep saying that too. Like, I don't understand why we keep taking Cook out the game. To be honest, folks, I think they're trying to manage his touches. I really think they're
Hmm.
trying to manage his touches because it is a long season. Like this, we're a third of the way there as far
Yep.
as the regular season is concerned. Um, Sitting at 4-2, and if you get to the halfway point and your running back is already close to 200 carries, like that's a lot. And what you don't want to do is burn James Cook out, get him hurt or something like that, because you really have nothing at that point. But this game had the feel, honestly, of, I don't know if you guys remember, but I'm sure you remember. 2022, we lose to the Jets in New Jersey.
Hmm.
That was the game where they had the deep ball at the end of the game. Josh had his UCL sprain that game. He throws the shot down the field to Gabe Davis.
Where
Obviously,
Sauce is flailing his arms and doesn't get called for PI. Yeah. Yep.
um,
Hmm.
so the game felt like that. It felt a lot like that. It felt like the
Hmm.
defense did enough, and the offense just could not figure out how to sustain uh, drives. It just couldn't figure out how, the offense could not figure out how to uh, efficiently move the football down the field. So, and that falls on two people, in my opinion: Josh Allen, number one, and
Yep.
number two, Joe Brady. Joe Brady, you got to run the football, bro. Like, I know it's boring. I know it's not sexy. We
Hmm.
need to run the football. Like, we're not trying to sell highlight film. We're trying to win football games here. Run the ball, dog. When you're
Hmm.
getting 4 or 5 yards of carry, a pop, run the ball. Like, James Cook
Yep.
was ripping off 7-yard runs consistently in the second half. Run the ball. Run the ball.
Yep. You know.
You put
What
big
was
people
funny? You
put
bring
big
up
people
Joe
on the
Brady.
field,
Yeah.
run the ball.
Hmm. Yeah, you bring up Joe Brady is one thing I've been meaning to ask you for a couple days. Remember we were talking about how we need to see Josh more under center, maybe doing some play action. They haven't been doing it much. Didn't you feel like they overcompensated for that this game versus like they went so far the other way? They put Josh under center, even on that Elijah Moore play. Like I thought that would have been better at a shotgun potentially instead of Josh under center, where he's got to turn around, right, to hand that ball off to Elijah Moore. But if Elijah's in front of him, he can at least see where he is, and maybe that exchange is better. Do you think the Bills are just tinkering with things right now, Whittle? Do you think they're actually? I hate to go Kansas City on this, Whittle, but you remember when they used to say, "Oh, Kansas City used to hold things back in the early of the year." Are the Bills like? I couldn't believe how much Josh was under center, which I was happy he was under center, but considering how fast Atlanta's pass rush was getting to us, did you think it would have been better to be in shotgun a little bit more this game than under center? If that
If
makes
you're gonna
sense
if
as
you're gonna,
something.
football, if you're gonna try to win the football from the air, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
you're down Kincaid and Curtis Samuel going into the game. You already know that, right? You know that
Hmm.
you're missing
Yeah.
right? Then you lose Joshua Palmer in the first quarter
Yeah.
for the rest of the game. He's done. You're
That was a
down
big
to
loss.
Deion Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Marcin Knox, Tyrell Shavers, Elijah Moore, Jackson Hall. That's it.
Hmm.
Down to those six guys. So run the football. Like that's where you just say, all right, we we had a I think this is how I look. I feel like the Bills, and we do this often. Bills do this often. We get into and I'm getting feedback from like does the mic sound fine or is there anything weird?
It sounds pretty good, but once in a while it gave out, but not right now. It's okay though. Right now, it's right now. Are you getting echoes on your side? Your side, Whittle?
Yeah, yeah. I'm tinkering with like a new setup and all that. So
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just plugging stuff into where it
It's
fits
okay.
and pause.
It's all right. Yeah.
Plugging stuff in and seeing where it works. So we'll figure this
Yeah.
out. Don't worry, we'll get it
Don't
together.
clip. Don't clip Whittle on that one. Okay.
Yeah, don't clip. I mean, yeah, don't clip that, man. But listen, I know my energy is kind of down right now, and I promise you
Yeah.
guys, it's not because of the loss. It's because I flew in and I basically got home this morning. So
Yeah. You're tired.
um,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I
Yep.
flew in,
And Doug said the mic's good.
last night, and I got up. I went and took care of took care of business today. So I kind of been running around and didn't really get as much sleep. Oh, thank you, Mason. Appreciate. Thanks, guys. Thanks, dog. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yep. Thank you, Mason. Thank you, Doug.
All right. So, but yeah. So, like, it's that. I spent Tuesday walking around. Not walking, but I spent Tuesday all over the city. I went to the Museum of Illusions. I went to the aquarium. I went to
Nice.
yeah. I went like downtown. I went to this like brunch spot. Really, really
Hmm.
nice. The waitress, slash bartender. Oh my goodness, man! I mean,
Nice. I'm jealous. I wish I was there with you, man. Oh.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Um,
Nice.
yeah. So it was a good time. I
Yeah.
enjoyed
You got dog laughing like crazy now. That's it. So I can
myself.
already hear him too.
I, sometimes man, you just got to step back and just say, you know
You
what,
do. Absolutely.
you took your time. You took your time on that. I appreciate
Yep.
that. Yeah. Anyway,
100%.
um, back to the game. Yeah, it just like we go into these games and we have a plan that
Well, it's an interesting question. I'm going to put this on the board. Speaking of being a little off topic, we're in a bye week, folks, so we're going to get to plenty of bills. So, do you think you can score 5 points in an NBA game or rush for 5 yards? Me personally, it's got to be the 5 points in the NBA game because I am nowhere near fast enough to run for 5 yards. That I can tell you.
I don't know
What I
about
don't know
the
about
rest.
you, but
I mean, I can shoot, so
yeah, the same.
but you
Got that
set
lefty
me up.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a few shots, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think it'd be
Mhm.
tough. It's
Yeah.
probably honestly, it's probably easier to get the 5 yards in the NFL game. I'm not going to front. It's probably
You
easier.
just, yeah. Well, you need a couple big blocks. I need Jackson Hawes, Dion. I need a
Yeah,
lot of help to get that 5 yards, man.
straight touch push. Straight touch push.
Yeah, yeah. I need
5
Jalen
times.
Hurts pushing behind me. I
Five
need everything.
times. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
fall forward 5 times. Yeah, I can get 5 yards. I can get 5 yards off the blitz. Let's do
There you
that.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Raul, man, appreciate that. It was a
Yeah.
break in the
Interesting.
yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no. So I think we go into these games with a plan of what we want to
Hmm.
do offensively, and then when
Yeah.
guys go down, we don't have. I just felt like we ran out of counter punches. Like we ran out of bullets offensively, and a lot of it, honestly, a lot of it, student body right. I'll get you 7. A lot of it had to do with uh, what they were doing defensively. Like they really were um, giving Josh. Like they really were like they gave Josh fits. Like
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
100%. They gave him fits. The blitzes and how fast that like they are fast. That defense
Yes.
very
Shocked me.
very
Little.
fast. Like I
Yep.
hope you saw. You can see it on the field, and it's like
Hmm.
some of those plays where Josh was running. I'm used to Josh ripping off 20, 30 yards, and they catching dude at like 9. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, these boys is
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah. You knew it was gonna be a different night when you saw that for sure.
right? So, but the way you negate speed, like any boxer will tell you, if you're fighting a guy that's faster than you,
Hmm.
you get in tight and you work the body. You slow him down like that. And turn that into football terms. Um, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, man. You just got to run the football. But I feel like we get
Sometimes.
into. I think Brady has these plans of what he wants to do. We get into the game, things happen, and there's no counter punch. There's no, all right, well, this is what we'll do instead. Like
Yeah.
the plan B, I didn't feel like there was a plan B. And some of that could be because of the injuries that we already sustained before the
True.
game, and then losing Palmer, who I thought was going to be a big part of the offense because they blitz a lot and they like to play single high because they believe in the range. They believe in their safety's ability to play all over the field. Like they believe in their range. So having a guy like Joshua Palmer for that game would have been great because he's done very, very well against a one-on-one man coverage. So losing him was a tough loss. Uh, so yeah, we just didn't have a counter punch. And like I said, I was watching the way they were using Drake London, and I'm like, man, we really should be using Keon Coleman the same way. Like, I don't understand why we're not using Keon the exact same way that they're
Hmm.
using um, Drake London. I'd love to see Keon, line up wide, line up on the boundary, and then um, go into motion into a slot into the slot with a free release, and then you can run him on a drag. You can run him, on an intermediate crossing route. You can run you can run an out route with him. You can layer it with the other guys on the field. Like you can run him underneath a deep post route or a deep
Hmm.
corner, excuse me, deep corner route from the
Yep.
tight end or the slot. Like there are things that you can do to help Keon get open. And he's a guy who I think is electric with the football in his hands. We just don't get the ball in his hands enough. Last year, Keon Coleman's yards per reception was over 19. Over 19
Hmm.
yards per catch. Like, he's not that kind of player. That's not his strength. Can he get there? Can he eventually become a guy that you can trust downfield consistently to win? Sure. But he's not that yet.
I
And
agree.
honestly,
You
I
know,
don't know. I don't know.
this was one question I wanted to ask you about too, about going back to the running game a little bit last week. There's something that's kind of bothered me about. It's not about James Cook's usage so much, Whittle, but just looking at the box score of this past game. You had Bijan Robinson, who was an absolute beast, as we all know, right? But the backup running back for Atlanta was Aguilar. He had what, 10 carries, right? The Bills had 17 carries for James Cook, 6 for Josh, 1 for Ty Johnson. Like, we need that. I think we need a guy. Are we not trusting Ray Davis here? Do we, like, is it not really about getting James Cook more touches? Is it more about trusting a number two to take 5 to 7 carries in a game to kind of help, to kind of help the whole unit out? Like that's what I feel like we're missing that a little bit from last year.
So there's an issue with Ray Davis. Ray Davis lost weight. So Ray Davis came into the league last year. I believe he was 220 pounds. This year he's around 205. So um while 15 pounds doesn't seem like a lot or sound like a lot, it is. Like when you're talking about his ability to run through tackles and to be more physical in between the tackles, absolutely.
Hmm.
Like that 15 pounds matters a lot. I think that's the
Yeah,
problem. I think
yeah.
that Ray Davis is not a guy at this level who's going to be effective running off tackle, running out wide. He's going to have to get his yards the hard way. And that's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He's going to have to run between the tackles. He's going to have to
Hmm.
run through arm, et cetera, et cetera. And right now, he's not effective. Um,
Yeah.
they tried to put Ray Davis in the game. They've tried to give him work, and he just hasn't been able to do it. He just hasn't done. He hasn't been productive. That's all. He hasn't been productive. So until he is, this is what we're going to be dealing with. Right. I would like to see them extend the run game to like change, like add layers to the run game. Obviously, you're not always going to be able to run the football effectively against team like, especially a team like Atlanta that's faster than you. You're not going to beat them around the edge. Like we tried it, it didn't work. Cool. All right, we got to beat them in between the tackles. But part of that is you got to also understand that they're putting 8 guys in the box most of the time. Like when we're under
Hmm.
center, when we're under center that game and have multiple tight ends on the field, you saw 6, you saw 7 guys in the box, sometimes 8 guys in the box. I mean, they were daring you to, all right, if you're gonna run it, we're gonna commit the bodies to it because we don't believe that you can block everybody. And even if you
Hmm.
do, we have the speed, the team speed to get to you before it's a big game.
Hmm.
So that's, I mean, and that's honestly, there were a few times where I thought James Cook was in a position to bust to get a big one, but he's
Yeah,
running through so much traffic that by the time he gets through the second level, there's already somebody there waiting on him. So,
absolutely.
I wanted to just get back to one question real quick.
Absolutely.
RJ, I believe RJ asked, you know, um, Albrick was the DC for the Jets, and you
Hmm.
know we've had trouble with that DC where Josh has had trouble with him. You think like you think he has Josh's number? Um,
Hmm.
here it is.
Yep.
You know who the when we played the Jets in Buffalo in the 2023 season, you guys remember what the score was?
We played the Jets in Buffalo in 23. 30 wasn't that the 30 wasn't that the game where Josh says I feel good or I feel effing good or something like that? It was like the big pass to Shakir, that 80 something yard touchdown, if I remember correctly.
Yep. You know who the defensive coordinator was for that game?
Was that does that what's his name?
Jeff O-
Ul- Ulbrich, yeah.
Yeah. When we beat the Jets in
Hmm.
Jersey last, you know who the defensive coordinator was? It was Jeff Ulbrich.
Oh,
He was actually the head coach
Ulbrich.
at interim head.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, then at the end of the year, when we beat the Jets again, 40 to whatever, uh, Ulbrich was the head coach. He was the guy in charge of the defense. I mean, he was there. So it's
Hmm.
not like we haven't beat. It's not like Josh hasn't beat him. But I will say this: the speed that Atlanta has up front, or a team wise, but especially up front, like they're Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., all of those guys they got up front. It clearly Leonard Floyd, all of like it clearly was an issue for Josh. Josh was rattled by the pressure. And when he's rattled, you can tell because he's missing throws. He had a couple of open guys. Balls behind him, too low. You know, he had a play where uh they ran a play. It ran a play action. It was play action in the first half. Dawson Knox runs a deep corner. He runs a corner route. Josh throws the ball too low, and um, it got knocked down by the defensive one. It was like a defensive end that was chasing after Knox. He just had his hands up like this,
Hmm.
and he ended up knocking the ball down. But two things on that play. One, Knox has to read the coverage a little bit better. And Knox is
Yes.
running. Knox is getting vertical before he goes into his break. He should be watching the corner and the safety to see what happens. And when that boundary receiver went, when that boundary receiver, I think he ran a deep post or whatever, or he just ran to the down the field to the half. Um, the corner followed that guy. The corner followed the boundary receiver.
Hmm.
Knox has to see that. He's got to understand. Have a ton of space. Instead of flattening that corner route, get a little more vertical. Give Josh a bigger window to throw to. Um, you know, he could have done that. Josh also could have put the ball a little higher. And, Dawson Knox is athletic. Like, just throw the ball a little high. Maybe he's got to jump to catch it. He's a pro. He's been in the league, what, 6 years now?
Hmm.
6, 7 years, whatever it's been. He can jump and catch the football, get his feet down, and keep it pushing. Like he's capable. So
Yep.
just Josh missed some throws. Um, Now let me get to the defense and our ability to stop the run. Uh,
Hmm.
Again,
Or
again,
inability. Yeah.
the inability, right? The inability, and I know what people are saying. For me personally, if you run the ball 9 times and you get 70 yards, I don't care. I know that that's not great, but I don't care. I mean, I honestly don't. Honestly, if the Bills held every running back they faced to 70 yards or less, I'm happy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm good with that. If we're playing Miami or we're playing Tampa Bay and Rashad White has 65 yards off of 8 carries and Sean Tucker has 4 carries for 45 yards, I'm okay. Fine. Baker Mayfield's got 3 rushes for 36 yards. I don't care. It's still 140 yards rushing that we gave up, but I don't care about that. I don't care about the total cumulative number. care that you're not allowing, like, you're not letting one guy go crazy. You're not letting one guy dictate how we play the football game. We give up those yards rushing to a group of people, whatever. Like, oh, all right. If we give up 140 yards rushing every game, and it takes 3 or 4 guys to get to that 140 yards. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And you start giving up 180, 200, we got a problem now. Like 170, like now we got a problem because that's keeping your offense on the sideline. And on top of keeping your offense on the sideline, you rush for 170 yards, you getting touchdown. You getting points off of that for sure. Like you're definitely giving up points. That's for sure. So I'm more focused on that. I thought they
Mhm.
did a good job of uh creating their own mismatch. When I say that, there were so Dorian Williams, because Terrell Bernard got hurt. Dorian Williams comes in, he's playing the mic, and Shaq Thompson is playing the will. And you
Mhm.
got Terrence Johnson obviously out there. So no, not 2 years ago, 3 years ago, against the Jets in 2022, when Michael Carter Jr. had a huge rushing game. It was Terrell Bernard's. I think Terrell Bernard. Yeah, Terrell Bernard played that game. Him and Tremaine Edmonds out there. Lana
Okay.
was out. Lana got hurt. Him and Tremaine Edmonds out there, and what they did in that game was manipulate the box count, and they kept rotating. I mean, they kept using motion to move one of the linebackers out of the box, and then they would just run to the side with the smallest guys.
Mhm.
And that's essentially what they did again in this game. They said, "All right, use motion. This is how they knew exactly how we were going to react. They used motion. They moved the linebacker out of the play, and then they just ran where the linebacker wasn't anymore. And even when the linebacker shifted to try to get back in the position, it still didn't work. Still didn't work
Mhm.
because they had the numbers. They would motion and move guys where they wanted, and they had the numbers, and they utilized it. Every time they wanted to run for a big gain, or every time they wanted to run the football, and we were out there with multiple linebackers, they used motion to get whoever they wanted out of the play. It worked. It worked over and over. It worked. I would like to see Babbage um, probably rotate the safeties. Like if we're in the nickel, or if we're in a nickel and they use motion to move one of the linebackers out of the play, out of the box, and
Mhm.
now you got Johnson and another linebacker as your box defenders, I'm gonna rotate the safety down. I'm gonna take the safeties that I'm gonna switch them. I'm gonna bring
Mhm.
whatever safety is on the side where the linebackers are.
Mhm.
I'm I'm telling him, hey, get that. You fall back. And um the other safety that was, my high safety, I'm bringing him down to the box to offer Terrence Johnson, to offer that side some support. Now, the issue with that is if they throw out of that, especially a team like Atlanta,
Mhm.
if they decide to throw out of that, now you have a linebacker covering Kyle Pitts, or you have a linebacker covering Drake London. I'm fine with it. I don't care. Like, if that's the case, me personally, I'm just going to say, if this is what you're going to try to do, this is how I'm going to counter it. I'm going to bring the safety down, and whether you're running it or not, we're treating it like a run play. I'm sending everybody, and we're just going to man up everywhere else. If we get home, awesome. If we don't and you make a play, if we don't get home and the offense makes a play, you make a play. I'd rather
Hmm.
that happen than allow Bijan Robinson to pick and choose his lane and basically be untouched to 80 yards. You know, like it
Yep.
was the Atlanta Falcons social media team posted they posted a tweet. It said breaking tables, and then they scratched it out, and it said and they wrote ankles. They had Cole Beasley on his back with Bijan Robinson running up the field.
Mm.
That's em- that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
As a
bad.
fan of the team, I'm embarrassed. If you're Cole Bishop, you should be embarrassed by that.
Yes.
This point, it was bad. It was bad. He should be embarrassed. Um, but let's get into some of the positives now. On the defense, second half defense was an excellent.
Hmm.
Um, defense got a lot better when Jordan Poyer got out.
Interesting. Yep. Right.
Just being honest. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a Atlanta wasn't ready for Jordan Poyer, or did Jordan Poyer take the field and the communication got infinitely better, and now the defense is fine because everybody knows where they're supposed to be. That's the way it felt. It felt like Poyer got out there because he didn't like Poyer didn't really make plays. He just
No.
kind of was out there, and he told people Atlanta was using a bare front in some situation, or ran a 5. They did 5-2-4 in some situations where the slanted the D lineman and had one man loop to put pressure. Yeah, yeah, that's delayed pressure, bro. Delayed pressure. That looper was the guy that when Josh Allen tried to escape, that looper was waiting for him. He was
Hmm.
waiting for him. So he had a
Yep.
great plan. Like that. That's what happens when you come off a bye week. That's the way it's supposed to look. Like you're supposed to be ready for your opponent, and that's what it was. Bills
Hmm.
are worse at tackling than James. Uh, you know what's funny?
James
James,
catching strays.
he's not watching the pot, bro. James is not
Um,
watching.
yeah.
He's on.
We'll
He's
have
probably
to,
on. He's probably on movies 1 to 3 right
yeah.
now. Shout out to James, man. Shout out to
Shout
movie.
out to James. Yeah. Somebody will have to. We should clip Dave's message and show him.
Shabara. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I just that was like that was hard to watch. Like
He was.
uh, it was hard. The first half was hard to watch, but the
Hmm.
second half, like the defense really was. I mean, I don't know if Poyer needs to come off the field until.
Listen,
To
you know,
be
Whittle.
honest,
He knows. He
we
understands the system, right? He maybe he doesn't have the speed, but he positionally, right? He knows where to be, right? Maybe at the right gaps, things like that. If that can compensate for some of the lack of speed in certain situations, then yeah. Until we get into the safety in the room here, maybe that yeah, we'll get into that shortly about who the Bills could target. Maybe that's something that we got to consider. I mean, going into the bye here and let Jordan Poyer get more snaps or even take a starting position until proven otherwise.
yeah, dog, you bring up a great point. Yeah, because they're not a better team, in my opinion. And
Hmm.
I don't think Atlanta was a better team than the Buffalo
No.
Bills. I don't.
Mm-mm.
Even in Buffalo Bills depleted state from an injury standpoint, um, the Bills had plenty of opportunities to win
Hmm.
this game.
Yep.
You get again, you force a fumble and recover on their first offensive play. That ball, you get that ball right there. You are starting. Um, your starting field position is inside the 30. on a road. You get a touchdown there, and I believe, yeah, and we got the ball at halftime. So you score right there, you change the way that that game is being played from that point forward. As long as you continue to score, as long as you're efficient offensively, you change the way the game is played for the rest of the. You change the way the game script goes. Now
Hmm.
the focus can't be as much on let's keep feeding Bijan. Let's keep feeding these bats and
Hmm.
peeling time off the clock. You get that fumble there, you go up, you get a touchdown, you score. Because honestly, they really couldn't stop our run. They didn't stop the
Hmm.
run. They didn't stop us from running the football either.
No, no.
But
I mean,
you know, with
Whittle, to be honest, I think we're just out of sorts in a lot of ways, right? And again,
no,
not to
no,
use injuries
no,
as an excuse.
no,
You don't think
there's
so?
real, no. I think there are real problems. There
Real
are some real.
problems, yeah, there are real problems, partially from injuries, partially from needs that we have to address between now and the trade deadline. I would think it's a little bit of both at this point.
This is this is the issue that I have. And these are problems that you can't fix right now. You can't even fix them with the trade. The problem
Mhm,
is Brandon Bean. You drafted Cole Bishop, and he doesn't understand how to play safety in this defense.
that's a
He
problem.
needs to be in
Yeah,
a scheme with less responsibility.
yep.
This is not. I don't think that this is the defensive scheme for him. I don't think that he's going to work out. That's just what it
He
is.
may not. He
The
may
other
not.
thing, Joey Bosa has not been more effective this year. Um, as a football player, as a defensive end than AJ Epinesa, and we're paying Joey Bosa almost $13 million. And AJ Epinesa plays his 111, in my opinion, better.
Then Joey Bosa, and we could use that. We could have allocated that money to a better safety.
I mean, I don't know who. Like, I'm no, I'm not going to say anything bad about the. Felt like we respected the motion too much, and if we could have disguised it when they ran motion, maybe play a heavier front and rotate the body. Also have the safety play right. That's what I'm
Mhm,
saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really wanted to see them flip the safeties. Like instead of moving the instead of shifting your second level every time they
mhm.
went into motion, flip the safety.
Yeah.
Bring the safety down wherever they motion at. And you say, all right, now you gotta beat me. But this is the problem. This is the problem. How much trust do you have in Cole Bishop coming down into the box and then recognizing it's a pass where he needs to get in order to stop whatever they're doing? I don't trust. How, do you have any trust in um Rat's ability to get to his spot if he's the
No.
low man? Another thing is Joey Bosa just has no interest in setting the edge against the run. None. He got no interest
Mhm.
in forcing the play back into the teeth of the defense. None. He has no. He just doesn't do it. He crashes down every single time when it and there are times where offensive linemen are just like, all right, cool. We're letting you go because we know you're gonna make a beeline to the football. And the football's already headed to where
Yeah.
you're supposed to be.
Yep.
It's already headed there. Rap won't get there fast enough. That's the problem.
Mhm.
When you wouldn't have this issue, if you would have drafted a lot better. Like there were players that we should have gone after in multiple drafts.
Hmm. And you consider all the draft picks the Bills have had the last 2 years, Whittle. And I know some of these guys have been injured. Hasn't been all their fault. But besides Deion Walker, besides Keon Coleman, I mean, we haven't really hit, right? We've had a lot of misses. Josh threw a pick of McDermott. Oh, dog, you've been best.
No,
Yeah,
I'm yeah. That was kind of nuts.
yeah, I know. The clapping is just, oh man. I mean, just clap when it's necessary, right? I mean, don't be clapping then. Come on. I mean, please.
My other issue is I've been a stark Sean McDermott defender for
Mhm,
years, for at least a year now.
mhm.
Can't do it now. I can't continue to defend.
Wow,
When you
this is
have
a development, folks. Because
when you have
believe me,
coach
Whittle, yeah.
that take that take the ball that takes the ball out of your hands and puts it in the hand of the offense again after you get a takeaway on the road with a depleted roster, guys are lining up like defensive linemen are lining up in the neutral zone. They're offside. Why? There's no
Yeah.
excuse. Not the only one that has an excuse is Deion Walker because he's a rookie
Hmm.
and he's not lined up offside.
Nope.
That's not the guy that's getting the neutral zone infractions. It's not him. It's Russo. It's Ed Oliver. It's Ed Oliver every game. Like it's like Ed gets one like every game. Like one every game. And you know what? And not because, his brother's a friend to the show. I can deal with it from Ed. You deal with it from Ed.
Hmm.
Because I know what Ed's
Yes.
doing. Ed's trying to get that edge. He's trying to position himself to blow through that offensive line and make a play on the football all day long. The guys, yes. The player with the biggest wingspan never is offside. Yes. Dion is never offside. But Rousseau was offside. Like we're getting Bosa lined up in the neutral. Like, why are we doing this? I don't know what McDermott is.
Yep. Yeah, well, I'm at a point where, maybe it is time to start having that conversation about Sean McDermott, right? And we know who's been out there kind of chirping about it for years. And I always said it was just premature, but now I'm getting to the point where, this is a very big year for Sean McDermott. If we do not turn this around and take that next step that we all expect, I think it's really, really time for the Buffalo Bills to seriously consider a change
Yeah,
in
yeah,
coach, or really, really look into it. Did you hear Bruce Arians on the Pat McAfee show?
I did.
He talked about how he doesn't think the Bills should be running the 4-2-6 anymore as something they should really consider. Do you think because of the way the game has changed just in the last couple of years, right? We've gone, more of an emphasis on the running game. Do you think that is partly true, or do you think it's just more we just don't have the safeties to kind of make our system work to be effective? I got to find the sound bit, but it was kind of interesting to hear him say that because I really haven't heard anybody talk about that before, and it kind of made me think: is McDermott's philosophy the best? It was great in 2020, 2021. The league was pass happy, but is it really the best course of action now? Yeah, and I'm going to agree with Jan Sports on this. Until Pagula fires Kevin Adams, who is the GM of the Sabres, the McDermott thing is in conversation. By the way, shout out to the Sabres. 8-4 win tonight. How about that? 8 goals on the board. So there you go. So a rare moment of joy. But yeah, there's probably something to that as well. But I don't know. But I do have something though for you, Whittle, in the history books that maybe can make you all feel a little bit better tonight. If you'd like, I could just bring up a quick screenshot and we're going to go through some revisionist history, if you will. Let me go over here and I'm going to show you a screenshot, Whittle. Okay. I'm going to show you a screenshot of 6 games. You can see it on the screen. Check out those first 4 wins. 40-7, 34-31 at San Francisco, 38-0 at the Colts, 40. We're cooking, 41-7. Look at week 5 and week 6. Division game at home, we get smoked by the Dolphins, 37-10. We go play LA, we lose 20-3. Then we have a bye week. Interesting. Kind of lines up with this year. I know different results, Whittle, different teams, but that is the AFC champion Buffalo Bills of 1992. They also went a little sideways, right? You see how they're cooking the first 4 weeks of the season, and then all of a sudden, bam, they just fell off for 2 weeks, had a bye week, then they had an ugly win after their bye week, and then they just got going again, right? I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen here, Whittle. I know it's 2 different scenarios, 2 different circumstances, but I just wanted to put that out there as something that always stuck in my mind when I thought about this week. I was like, I kind of remember something like this from these old Bills teams when we were really, really good. And then I looked it up. I said, oh yeah, that did happen in 92. So, like you said, it is a long season, folks. We have some issues to take care of. Can they take care of it in trade? I don't know. But I'm not sure exactly where we should attack this first. I personally would like to see another wide receiver in here because I feel like if the wide receiver play gets better, Whittle, if we could get more points on the board and become more explosive, that can in turn help our defense and our run defense as well, where teams are not going to run on us as much if we're putting up more points fast and early in games. So there's all kinds of theories, but if you had to pinpoint one position to upgrade on this roster, what would you do and why?
Defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle. So you still want a one tech? You want a one tech?
I just want another defensive tackle that is better against the. I need somebody that's good against the run. Like
Mm-hmm.
that. So when you say, I know you said that Bruce Arians said that the Bills shouldn't be running the 4-2-5. I think the
Mm-hmm.
4-2-5. I think the scheme is fine. I don't think
Okay.
that it's a scheme issue. I think it's a personnel issue. I think that
Yeah.
the opportunity to this is where we screwed up this draft, right? You take Maxwell Harrison in the first round, I'm fine with that. Cool.
Yeah.
Upside of athleticism, yada yada yada. Got it. No problem. Second round, you trade up and you take TJ Sanders with Alfred Collins
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Alfred Collins sitting there, right there waiting for you. A few picks later, who does he go to? San Francisco 49ers. What is he doing out there? 49ers?
Mm-hmm.
Making
There,
plays.
bro.
Making plays.
Yeah.
He was a guy that I felt like, we should have taken a shot on. Like I thought when they traded up, I'm like, this has got to be Alfred Collins. And I think I don't know if you were on the draft show, but I was doing draft coverage. And I'm just
I
like,
remember. I was with you. Yes.
what? Why like
Mm-hmm.
TJ Sanders, why are we taking another 3 tech? When we
Yeah.
need a big physical run stuffing, tall, long limbed defensive tackle to make things easier for Ed Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Deion Walker, and I'm like, all right, cool, that's awesome. But imagine
Mm-hmm.
having Walker and Collins.
Oh, we'd be set for the next
You
several
had
years.
you could have had Alfred Collins, and then you
Hmm.
could have doubled back later and got Deion Walker later. And we're probably not having the same conversation about defensive tackle or the running or the run defense. Probably not having the same conversation. Um,
Hmm.
Another position I would look at is cornerback too. I would look at another corner because I think that
Hmm.
a lot of what you could do defensively, you can't because you can't trust Trey White by himself.
Yeah,
Can't do
agree.
it. Right now at least. I don't know if later on in the season Trey's body, you know, gets calloused up and he's back to his old self where he's making plays on the football and forcing turnovers. And I don't know if he gets back to that. If he does, then great. Like that's going to be awesome. But right now, he's not that guy, and we need that guy because when we had that guy, we could commit a safety to the box and have 8 in the box or 7 in the box, and still feel comfortable about the coverage behind you. Benford, I think Benford is still solid. Um, no, he's not having the year that he had last year. Understood, but he's still a good. He's still a really good player. Um, let's turn this off. How's it sound? Better? Yes.
That
Oh,
sounds good. That sounds good, Whittle.
probably should not play around with this while we're live. But
That's okay. It's all good. We're doing fine.
yeah, what was the other thing I wanted to bring up? The other position, I know people keep saying wide receiver. I don't think that the answer isn't on the roster. And it's the type of wide receiver that you need. You need a guy
Mm.
who threatens the defense down the field. I'm chill with the touchy feeling. Let's work. Yeah, Christian Wilkins would be a good addition here, but
Yeah, he would. He would.
bro,
Yeah, I don't know
God,
if we'll get
listen,
steamrolled, but we'll just have that 3rd and 8 where we
I don't
can't
think.
make a
Listen,
stop.
Trey White is the starting corner in the playoffs unless there's like a complete return to form from him. I don't think we're getting to the Chiefs. We won't even get there. We might not get out of the wild card. Damn. It's been pretty bad, and I love Trey White, man.
Yeah,
My
we
favorite
do. I
Bill.
mean, he'll always be one of
He's
my
bad,
absolute favorites, but
bad right now.
I just want to
Bad.
see him. I want to see him more on the bench, kind of being a mentor for a Hairston, just a guy, that's part of this team. And I said, hopefully, if we turn this thing around and we get to the Super Bowl, I would love to see him in the mix, Super Bowl week and all that. But yeah, we can't be dependent on him at this point in his career for what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah. The other reason why I don't want to, like, I'm not like if they get a receiver, cool. Like I get it. If they don't get a receiver, like I get that as well. You need a vertical threat. You got Gabe Davis recovering on a practice squad. Like he's a vertical threat. If teams want
Hmm.
to leave Gabe Davis 1-on-1 against your second or third best corner, all right, cool.
Hmm.
He's gonna get cooked though. Like Gabe's gonna cook whoever that is. You're gonna Gabe's gonna score on whoever that guy is. He's gonna score. Um, but that's my answer. I think you bring Gabe up, and you know Tyrell Shavers probably goes back down. How much
Hmm.
does Stephon Gilmore have left? I don't know, but until we find out what the deal is with Hairston and Dorian Strong, I'm not making any moves at corner either. I think everything we need outside of playmaking safety is on the roster. It's there. But we don't need a
Hmm.
quarterback. The running back room is fine. I'm not. Uh, Ray Davis hasn't looked good so far, but I think there's other ways that we could use Ray Davis, namely as a receiver, throwing the football to those guys in design checkdowns, design swing
Yeah.
routes. Things like that would make a lot of sense. I wish we would do some of that stuff again. Um, if you do things like that, you can get Ray Davis and these other guys involved. Uh,
Hmm.
you, you force defenses to spread out. You force them to cover more of the field. That opens up lanes for you to run through. It's stuff like that that we're not doing that we should be doing. Um, but like wide receiver, you go out and get a guy like Olave or Shaheed or Jacoby Myers, who are the three like main targets right now as far as um, the trade market is going. Cool, like I'm fine if they bring that guy in. But here's the
Hmm.
question: you bring this guy in, whoever it is Brady going to use him to his max potential? Is Brady going to use him in the right spots? Like, you know, I think Shaheed would be great because he also he also fills the role of punt return. Now you don't have to worry about the punt. Like you got a punt returner, Shaheed's going to return punts. You got Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir and Todd Johnson and Ray Davis. They can all return kicks.
Hmm.
Those guys, you use them for that. That's cool. Yeah. But offensively, what are we getting out of him? Like, is he going to line up in the boundary? He looks similar to like he's not the biggest guy either. Is he better slotted for the slot role? Like, is he better? Is he a better fit there? You don't even use Shakir downfield enough, in my opinion. I don't think we use him enough. I think some of these deep go routes should be run from the slot with Shakir. Send him downfield one on one with a nickel and see what happens, or one on one
Hmm.
with a safety. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
I'd rather that than continuing to try Keon Coleman, who can't separate from corners. I'd rather that.
Hmm. Agree.
Yeah, it's annoying enough.
Yeah, we need better scheming. We need better coaching. We need an injection of talent in here. There's a lot of things this team all of a sudden needs. It's amazing how quickly things have changed in the last couple of weeks. But I think we kind of knew we needed this anyway. But yeah, I wanted to get back to your one tech. Could Larry Ogajobi play any one tech at all? Is he more of a three tech guy?
305 pounds. No. The, the
Yeah.
the the name that's floating around right now is Calais Campbell.
Hmm.
Um,
That'd be solid.
I do it.
Yes.
6th round pick. Bring him in.
Yep.
He's he's
Yep.
he's you know he's a little. I think he's like 315, 320.
Hmm.
Like Harrison Phillips would be dope too. Like if we could get Harrison Phillips back, that'd be
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, no, Dave said that earlier. I mean, that's something that could be considered as well. I mean, he's a fan favorite here, especially if our buddy student. So, and a lot of us really. So he knows the city, he knows the team, he knows the he's could be an easy transition. I'm all for that.
But yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I mean, I don't know if bringing in Justin Simmons helps because Justin Simmons doesn't know the defense. Honestly, man,
How about Minka Fitzpatrick from Miami? Would he be a guy? Now, I'm not sure if the Dolphins would trade him at this point, but if they would,
I don't think that's possible. I really don't think it's possible.
yeah, think about the money too, right? It's the money's got to match up. Could we possibly see a Rasul
Like,
Douglas reunion
you
in Buffalo?
said what? Who?
Could we see a Russell Douglas reunion in Buffalo potentially?
It's the same situation with Trey. Like you don't trust him in
Yeah,
man coverage either. So you know,
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
playing
he
well.
did play well. Like Rasul Douglas has played well so far this year. Maybe
He
last
has.
year he
Yeah.
was poorly because he was hurt. Maybe he
Hmm.
never recovered from the knee injury he sustained his first year. Maybe he didn't recover. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but he has looked better this year. So maybe, um, but again, I think the majority of the answers to the questions on this team are already in the building. I think Gabe Davis, we got a couple of weeks before the trade deadline. Let's bring Gabe up. Let's see what Gabe gives you now, Phil. It gives you flexibility to move Keon Coleman around the field. Use him where he's supposed to be used, short and intermediate routes. You know, run, go up the field, 10 yards, 12 yards, turn, come back to the 8 yard mark with your numbers and your eyes on Josh Allen. See if he throws you the football. Make the catch, get out of bounds. Let's live for the next down. Um, so I don't know that Jordan Poyer can't play on this team during the regular season. I don't know that that's something that he can't do. I would like to see him play with the young guy. Put him and Bishop out there together and see how it looks. See how it looks. Let Poyer let Poyer make the calls for the secondary and see how it looks. If Bishop looks better, then we run with that.
Hmm.
I also like to see Hancock get on the field.
Yes.
I like to see him play safety. He's not gonna play safety. He's gonna end up playing nickel. He's gonna end up being a nickel back, nickel corner.
Hmm.
He's a Terran replacement. Uh, those are the questions, man. Um,
We have a lot. There's a lot of questions to consider. I think this bye week, usually there are times when I'm just kind of sad about the bye week, but I got to be honest with it after Monday night. Like, thank the good Lord or whoever it is that we are off this week because I think this is perfect timing. Yeah, we do get back Larry O. We do get back Michael Hoyt. Be interesting to see what he brings to the mix. Could certainly won't hurt, but again, it won't solve all of our issues. Hopefully, get a little bit healthier. Hopefully, we'll see maybe Big Baller Bean after dark. Maybe a little trade coming down. I was kind of hoping maybe something tonight. I was hoping a little breaking news on our pod like we had last week. Unfortunately, that one that almost crashed you out. Newsome to Jacksonville, but I was hoping for something for us. But maybe we'll see something in the next week. I do believe by this time next week, Brandon Bean is going to make a move at some point, somewhere. I just don't know what it is or what it's going to be. This is the perfect time to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even tomorrow. To be truthful, I really think the urgency has to be there, Whittle. Yeah, we've had a lot of draft picks the last couple of years. We're in our Super Bowl window. We need to upgrade. There are certain players you could get that could fit money wise. You got to give up a few picks here. I'm okay with it. If we have a lighter draft board next year, so be it. But if we get the players in here, we can get over the hump. We're not going to care. So now is the time. And I know Bean loves to play the long game. I get that with the picks. But if he's not making the right picks, then what are we doing, right? Flip him and get the real talent in here right now, and let's get it going. That's where I'm
number
at right now.
number one, I know we're not number one. First things first, like we're not we're not gonna make a big move. Like I don't believe that we are. I don't believe. And
Maybe, yeah, maybe not as sizable. I would say nothing like you hear names like AJ Brown, you hear Justin Simmons. We're not doing those kind of moves, right? It's going to be something like I got you perked up. Did I say Justin Simmons? That got you going right there.
listen, if they're gonna make a trade for a receiver, I, and you can get AJ Brown, that and Let's do it.
Listen, I think if the Eagles are nuts to do it, his salary is pretty low this year. They could make it work. What would you give
Bro,
up for AJ Brown right now?
up a first round pick for
You,
AJ
I
Brown.
would give up. Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would say F them picks. We need AJ Brown in this team right now.
Probably a first and a fifth or something like that. No problem. No
Yep.
problem.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I feel that, Mason. No more white jerseys. Can we just get away from these crazy white jerseys? And Dave also feels that Justin Simmons. I thought the Justin Simmons reference got you going, but it was AJ Brown that got you going. All right, that was interesting. Listen, I don't think the Eagles. It's funny how the Eagles, Super Bowl champs, they were 4-0. Now they weren't rolling along; they were winning, but now all of a sudden they feel messy too. It's crazy, So we're not alone in this whole. It's just been a weird season across the board in the NFL, to be perfectly truthful. That's the one positive going on right now, is that there's really not that one team. Maybe Tampa Bay is the best team in the league right now, I would say, if I had to say from a consistency standpoint, but even they haven't been perfect. But
I mean, you'd have to say the best team is probably Indy. Indy's looked the best, and they've looked consistent all year.
yeah, that's true. They could have really won at LA. They played a really good game. Uh, they lost a one possession game. So, but
Keon,
yeah, so
I
that
don't know, man. Like Keon's got to get
uh,
better, bro.
now let me ask you: if getting an AJ Brown cost you Keon Coleman, are you doing it?
Yeah, come on, bro.
You're good with that. How about Chris Olave? Would you get a Chris Olave involving Keon Coleman?
Good.
You're good. No, you're good on Chris Olave.
I'm not a big Olave fan. I think he
You're not
dropped
a
the
big.
ball.
Okay.
I think, I think he had some brutal drops. Like, I mean, brutal drop. Like 3rd and 8, he'll catch a 10-yard out and drop the football.
Oh yeah, we all
In
know
the
how
middle,
this fan base went after Gabe Davis for drops. Imagine what they would do for Chris Olave if we gave up that much to get him.
and like the lasting memory of Diggs in the Bills uniform is him dropping that ball against the Chiefs. Like I
Yep.
don't
hmm
remember what after that. I mean,
I do think though, Whittle, we do need, like, the one thing about Diggs, I'll say he didn't come through a lot in the playoffs, but he's still. Why did Gabe Davis have 4 touchdowns against the Chiefs? Well, maybe in part because Diggs commands so much respect that it opens things up for other players. So we still kind of need that one guy to just say, "Hey," when the defensive coordinator looks at the bill, say, "Hey, I got to count for that guy," and maybe we just don't have that right now. Yep. And I got dog all riled up here talking about AJ Brown. He is ready, as you can tell. He's, him being a Philly guy, he's ready for AJ Brown coming to Buffalo.
call the Patriots and see if they want to trade Diggs.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest though, man. Like, yo, Diggs would fit. Like, Diggs would be perfect in the offense that we have right now,
how the tables
where
have turned,
you
right? Or
run the football
turntables.
so well,
Yeah.
and you're guaranteed to get some one-on-one opportunities down the field. You just gotta win off the snap, or off the line.
hmm
Bro, Diggs would eat right now. Like with this team, Diggs would
Yeah.
eat. Would
That's
eat.
crazy. What a
Absolutely eat.
reversal. What a reversal we've all done on Diggs.
And I always like
Now,
Diggs.
I'm a little worried if Diggs goes to the Patriot. I mean, not AJ Brown, because who was his former coach? AJ Brown,
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel. Yeah, so I hope not. Yep. And here's the other thing too. This is the other little thing about this season that's different from other years. The quote easier part of our schedule is kind of now over. We're going to get the tougher teams. We got the Chiefs, Bucks, Steelers, and Houston on the roads. It's not going to be easy in a short week. That's another tricky possible game. So we got the Eagles as well, and we don't know what the Eagles are going to be like come week 17. I would imagine they would find a way to get it together. They're starting to get healthy now after their bye, so we'll see. You'll see what they look like as well.
I'm not hearing that, dog. Diggs had Diggs two games in a row with 100 yards, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
he's still tough. Diggs is
Yeah. He's
still
still
tough.
good. He's still good. Got to give him credit. He's played very well this year.
But
Yep.
yeah, I just want to get through these little quick takes.
Sure.
I'm off the keep McDermott train. I'm on the if he dies, he dies. Like if he gotta get fired, he gotta get
Whoa.
goes, he goes.
Whittle.
I'm sorry,
Oh
man. I can't
man.
listen.
Yeah,
When you
like a
have
Rocky
the
Four reference. Oh man.
had the penalties that you had against the Patriots, and that was it, I'm fine. But now in a week against the Atlanta Falcons, you lose a fumble recovery because of a penalty. You lose a big sack that would have put them in like second and forever, man. Second or third and forever. That doesn't work. The penalties are hurting us, and the team just looks like they're acting undisciplined, right? We still can't figure out why the secondary is not communicating correctly. That's a coaching. That's a head coach. That's the coaching
Hmm.
issue. It is.
Yep.
Um, the French Revolution comes to Orchard Park. Yeah, but that's where I'm at. Like it is
Yeah.
what it is. That's a head coaching issue, and if we're
Hmm.
not gonna, you talk to me about culture, I'm listening, but you can't talk to me about culture and then have multiple penalties that put your team in a hole. Can't do it. Can't do that, and that's what's happening. Um,
That's right.
then you know this was a game that like we really had a shot at winning multiple times. Great defensive call that Shaq Thompson had an opportunity for an interception, and I think it was the fourth quarter. He had the ball in his hand, headed in the direction of the end zone. He catches that ball, nobody is catching him. That is a pick six.
Game over.
Again,
Well, not game over, but I think
if
we win
Ben
if we get that.
quiet,
No.
that stadium would have been quiet. Actually, no, it would have been loud with Bills fans going crazy. If he makes that play, then on like third and short, or third and two, or whatever it was, they ran a drag route to Drake London. We knew it was coming. Called the perfect play for it. Cam Lewis drops the ball.
Yeah.
We let one slip away, folks. We let one
Yeah.
slip away.
We really did. And again, a lot of this is too on the offense too. I mean, we blocked the kick, the field goal with Rousseau. We get it right back, boom, 3 and out. Like, I mean, that you can't pin everything on the defense. I know our defense has been a big point of contention, but
I can't remember the last time the Bills blocked the kick. I don't
neither
even
did I.
remember.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah,
It's been years.
yeah.
Block the field goal. Or yeah. Yeah. Block the field goal. We get the ball back and nothing. No points. Nothing. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. We'll probably have more. Oh, did we talk about the injuries? No, we didn't talk about that.
No, we did not.
All right. So Milano, um, Bernard, and Kincaid are all day to day. I think Curtis Samuel's day to day as well.
Hmm.
Uh, Daquan Jones and Joshua Palmer were listed as week to week. So that's
Yeah.
not good.
No.
It's not good. They cut Jimmy Charlo. He cleared waivers, so I'm sure they'll bring him back to the practice squad if he wants to come back.
Hmm.
The Ogunjobi and Hoyt both come off of suspension now, so
Hmm.
they're to the roster. We had to create spots for him. So one of the moves we made it was Charlo and somebody else. Who else did we cut? Well, we IR'd. We IR'd somebody.
Let me double check here. Trying to recall. Did we? I thought it was just Jimmy Charlo, but
No, yeah, it was. They released Jimmy Charlo, and he's going back to the practice squad. They opened up a spot.
hmm oh, we released Jalen Kimber from the practice squad.
Yeah, that was to open up the spot for him, bro.
Yeah.
But somebody went like TJ Sanders. Did they put TJ Sanders on the IR? Yeah, there it is. There
Yes.
it is. TJ Sanders is on the IR. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Michael. There you go. There's a coach who's coming to the Bucks game. If we fire McDermott, has immediate connection to Beyond knows. What is he talking about?
I am not sure.
Yeah, dogs on the sideline for these games. This team will be more disciplined. You're probably right, man.
Hmm.
Probably right. I know
Yep.
one thing that they said this year, like Sean McDermott's become more of a players coach, and that has not helped. Uh, James Franklin didn't he just get fired?
Ladies and gentlemen, can we stop the podcast and can I take a joyful moment as a Penn State fan since 1982 that finally James Franklin has been shown the door at Penn State? They went from the mount. They went from national relevance to Rutgers in 3 weeks, and they have since fired James Franklin as Penn State head coach. So maybe that's a good thing, Jans. They gave him $50 million, Whittle, to say bye bye.
Yeah, that's good.
Not a bad payday for James Franklin to go away with 50 million. Well, he'll go get himself another job somewhere. But listen, college football, you have to win the big games, and he just doesn't do it. And sooner or later, you're just gonna. Oh, I have your answer, by the way. The last blocked field goal for the Buffalo Bills was October 26, 2023, in our Tampa Bay win over Tampa Bay on Thursday night. Shaq Lawson blocked a 50-yard attempt from Chase McLaughlin in the fourth quarter.
I don't even remember that.
I don't remember that either. So,
What's up, Q man?
what's up,
We
Q?
didn't.
Good to see you.
We will though. We will, brother.
Oh boy,
No,
is if Jance is hinting that James Franklin's going to become part of the Bills staff, then I
that's what he's hitting at.
oh
Listen,
oh no.
I want the Giants to fire Dayball, and then I want Dayball to come back to the Bills.
I think Dable just bought himself another year. Don't you worry? Don't you believe with the whole Jackson Dart and Scatterboo move here? I mean, why would the Giants to me would be nuts to fire him right now at this point, unless he really just tails off. I got to at least give Dable one more year,
Yeah.
but we'll see how they. This is the Giants after all. So Anything is possible.
You know, they try not to fire coaches, man. I mean, they fire the ones that are idiots, but they try to hold the ones that are good. Dayball knows what he's doing, so
Yep,
I'm
yep,
not jealous
absolutely.
and continue to mentor this kid. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we go if this doesn't work out. Maybe they bring in Bruce
Yeah.
Arians.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Listen, I mean, who knows? Maybe if Cleveland moves off of Stefanski, we bring in Stefanski. I would actually not oppose to that, believe it or not.
Kevin Stefanski, the Browns coach.
He's, hasn't had much to play. He hasn't much to work with quarterback wise in Cleveland. He's going to have Josh Allen. It's going to be a major, major upgrade for him, but we'll see. I mean, I can't believe we're sitting here speculating on head coaches, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen. October 15th. Didn't have this on my bingo card, but yes, we are here.
Listen, I'm not calling for. I'm not calling for
Ooh.
him to get fired. I'm not. I'm not calling for McDermott to
Hmm.
get fired. At some point, and that point needs to be very soon. We got to move on, man.
That's not a bad one, Mike McCarthy, by the way. I don't think Whittle's feel like McCarthy, but no,
I feel like none of these coaches, man. I don't want none of these guys, man. I'm
no,
good
I
with
know.
don't just McDermott's
Yeah,
got to do something, man. And he just hasn't. He
but we're
hasn't.
seeing the same patterns from his teams. Hot start, October swoon. We get hot. We just missed the 1 seed. And then we get in the playoffs and then we lose at some point, right? It's just the same. Like we figured this year, we had the easiest, clearest path to 6-0 we've had maybe ever. And now we're 4-2. And we're not even in first place anymore.
Yeah,
That's the other thing, and that's the other thing that's sick to think of. But yes, the New England Patriots, yes, those fans that have been climbing out of the woodworks. J Mick aside, I'll give him credit. J Mick's been the one good Pats fan I know on
J
the
Mick.
app.
Yeah,
J Mick is the good one. He's been there through all the bad stuff. But him aside, all the Patriot, here they come. Here come all the Patriot fans. Here come, they're dusting off their Teddy Bruschi jerseys and they're putting away their 2010 CDs they still got sitting out when they don't use CD players anymore. They're all coming back now. Here they come. Here comes Patriot Nation all of a sudden out of the woodwork. So we got to deal with that for a while, folks. So, and if you look at their schedule, we're going to have to deal with it for a while, Will, because their schedule is butt cheeks. Let's just put it that
they
way.
still got to play Ravens. By the time they play the Ravens should be healthier. They still got to
Hmm.
play
Yep.
Pittsburgh. No, Pittsburgh beat them already.
Yeah,
They still
Pittsburgh
got
did
some.
beat them.
They still got
Right
some
now, if
stuff,
the season, by the way, it's the season ended today. We play the Patriots in the wild card game
and
in
we
the
beat
first
them.
round. Yeah, we beat them. We'd go to New England and beat them. Right? Why not? Right? And Kansas City would be out of the playoffs. So that would be, it's not a bad scenario right now, but
To the Super Bowl because I don't believe
yeah,
the Colts will beat us.
yeah, yeah.
They
Listen, we can still turn this around and,
could be
you
wrong,
know, we,
man.
but,
This team,
but we do have a bye week now to kind of lick our wounds, take it in a little bit. And as we pivot to next week, we can start looking at, we play Carolina, I believe in Carolina. Another team, Rico Dowdle, that's running over all these teams. That should be another interesting test for our run defense
they
next week.
better not give up 100 yards from Rico Dowd.
If we got 180 to Rico Dowdle, we got to sound the alarms, Whittle. We
No,
got
they better
major
give
problems.
100. He better not cross 100. He better
Yeah.
not cross 100. He
Hmm.
better not get a yard in the ground.
No. Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
Rico Dowd, bro.
Rico Dowdle. If they beat us, we go to 4-3, then yeah, I'm pressing the panic button. But we'll see if the Bills make any trades in the next week. I do expect some roster movement here. We'll see what becomes of what. I'm sure the rumors will be flying. Hopefully, I'm not even worried
All
about
right.
the scoreboard. All I care about is how we're doing.
Yeah, we've been linked to Jacoby Myers with the Raiders, and we've been linked to both guys in
Mm,
war. So we'll see. I'm done.
okay, I can live with that. I'm done as well. I want to thank everybody in our group chat. You guys are great. We got off to a little slow start today. Thanks for working with us as always. And again, give us a follow on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to us at Do Champions. We really appreciate it. It means everything. Even if you just subscribe to us, that's it. If you come in here on YouTube on Twitter, that's fantastic. We don't mind it. Whichever way you consume our product, you continue to do. But if you could please take that step and go to YouTube, we would really appreciate that, as that helps the network. And like I said, we go into the weekend, watch the games, we'll see what happens. And then next week, we will preview Buffalo in Carolina before we get into the showdown with the Chiefs after that. So that game is coming quicker than we realize. So we got a lot of things to work on. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you as well. Appreciate you, Jeff, Jarek as well. Everybody, Dave, Q, everybody. You guys are great. Dog, you were in like championship form today. I mean, your jokes were fantastic. Every role in the whole show. So it's great stuff. So great to see you all. Go Bills as well. And that's really all I had. Whittle, want to take us home?
What did Josh say? Do good, be good. God bless and go Bills.
Go Bills and get some rest, Whittle. You need it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this much: you better not lose to the Panthers. If we come
Oh,
out of this bye week and lose to the Panthers,
okay. There is one thing I wanted to ask you about. You just reminded me with Josh's quote. There was a lot of talk on Twitter about Josh's comment about how Haley made him realize he's more than a football player. And a lot of Bills fans took it as well. You know, he sees losing. Maybe he's not committed. Maybe he thinks he's more just because he says he's more than a football player doesn't mean he cares about that more than football. And it doesn't mean that how can you decipher that he does not care about football based on that?
you
Right?
can't.
I mean, all he's saying is that Hallie has enlightened him. Maybe he feels like he's got a few more interest out. Doesn't mean he doesn't care about football, folks. Let's just take it easy. These narratives are crazy. It's amazing what winning does and losing does, and what changes people's thoughts on a player.
Mhm.
People got to chill with that. It's ridiculous. It's driving. It's just a pet peeve of mine all week, and it's got to stop. Like, come on, if we win that game 37-14, nobody bates an eye about what Josh Allen said. Nobody cares. So it's just insane. So I just wanted to point that out. And then that's all I had.
All right, take this down.
Take
I'm gonna
this
keep
down. Go
it
Bills. Have a good evening
down. That's right. Yeah, man.
and have a great week.
Yeah, have a great week. Hopefully, Bean makes a deal so we got something else to talk about.
Oh, we will.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too, Will.